Hi there, my friends across the Western Pacific. A lot to talk about today, but first I do want to mention this 6.1 magnitude quake that did take place in Tokyo. Actually, technically Chiba Prefecture, just towards the east of downtown Tokyo. Did see some reports of a few fires out there. All the trains, the lines were suspended on a Thursday night here for the metro area, so definitely some impacts being had. 6.1, not too big for Japan, but when it's so close to the metro area, you have the Shindo scale, which is the scale Japan uses, was a 5+, so that was a pretty significant rattle for downtown. So definitely on my friends out there, if you are being impacted by that, yeah, shout out to you, and hopefully not too much damage being seen, at least at this time. All right, let's talk about the tropics. That's what you're here for. We have two tropical depressions, one towards the west and one towards the east of the Philippines. This broad one, I'll get to that in just a second, but we also have this one now moving over towards Hainan and eventually going to move into central and northern Vietnam. Looks like overall the moisture flow actually changing a little bit further towards the north with that. And what does that mean? Well, a little bit closer to Hanoi, you're going to be seeing those increasing in showers. Then you take a look at the track back towards the east. This is for our other area, and there's other tropical depression. Now this guy, on the other hand, I know you're looking at the center line, you're thinking, okay, Batanes, they're probably going to get impacted by this. Not a worry for me if you're out here maybe in Metro Manila, even as far south as Palawan. But here's the deal. This one is going to be this large monsoonal circulation, and I'll get to that in just a second. But simply put, when you have this type of circulation, the center of the storm, see, look at this, what was formerly known as Lani, a little bit more compact, and this one much more spread out. So watch as it goes towards the west here. You basically have this broad flow wrapping around. That means everybody from Taiwan all the way down towards Manila and on the west coast of Luzon is going to see a bit of that onshore flow. And when you get that heavy rainfall. So you may not be under a signal force warning, but you could be looking at the heavy rainfall warnings as well. All right. Back to this guy, formerly known as Lani. Continue the track across Hainan. And like I said, moisture inflow pulling into Hanoi. Could be seeing some localized flooding with that one as we go ahead through the weekend as well. Now I'm bouncing back and forth here. I just want to touch base for everybody with this. All right, let's take a look at the bigger picture. I know this is the one everybody's kind of really concentrating on, at least at this time, as what was formerly known as Lani pulls off towards the west. This starts to spin up. Now what's really happening, actually, we have two almost invest areas. One a little bit closer to Visayas here, and I think that's what JMA is kind of picking up on for the center of circulation. But another one out here towards Guam, which has been bringing rainfall for them for several days. That broad circulation is going to wrap up with these two areas. You got your area here, you got your area here, and there's going to be a general low-level center in the middle of that that's going to help spin this up, and that's what we're going to get this monsoonal gyre. So let's go hour by hour as this traverses off towards the west. It becomes a little more consolidated, but not terribly. And then as we go ahead through Monday and into Tuesday, that circulation starts to get a little bit closer to Taiwan. Now, the east coast of Taiwan, even off towards Taipei, for sure going to be seeing that moisture inflow, increasing showers there for you. But also, if this traverses far enough south, you're going to get that pull of rainfall off of the west. And look all the way, I mentioned Palawan earlier, look at that flow coming in all the way down towards Visayas. So this is this is not a concentrated type setup, more or less just kind of the broad flow of the atmosphere out here, and that's why we call it a monsoonal gyre. So boy, a lot of rainfall in the forecast. No named storms right now. I mean, you could technically say Lani, but it's out of the Philippine area of responsibility. But flooding is likely by early next week from Luzon to Taiwan. You're going to see the impacts with that area. So plenty to talk about over the course of the next few days, and already plenty to talk about today with our storm making landfall there into Vietnam. We have our other area here, and then this one over towards Guam. Like I said, these two are kind of going to wrap up and pull towards the west together. This in Guam, boy, Guam's been getting impacted for a few days now. They got some decent rainfall actually being reported out there, so people swimming to work. From what I hear. That's, exaggeration, but from what I hear, yeah, it's been pretty messy out there for them. Take a look at that rainfall accumulation. This is my next graphic. I'm going to try to upgrade because this broad red doesn't really tell you too much. It just says over 50 millimeters. 50 millimeters is usually the baseline for at least a decent threat of some flooding out here. So I'm going to work on upgrading that graphic, hopefully in the near future. Anyways, there's a look at what's going on out here across Southeast Asia and, of course, in the Metro Manila, where a lot of you are watching from. Saturday into Sunday, you're going to be looking at rain. A little break on Monday, cloudy skies, but boy, by Tuesday into Wednesday, it's going to kick back up as that system traverses towards the north. I'm meteorologist Robert Spetty. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please let me know down in the comment box below. As always, and this is a key thing, know your official informational sources. Pagasa being in the Philippines, the Bureau of Meteorology there in Taiwan, or over towards Vietnam as well. Prepare to evacuate if needed. Hopefully it is not needed, but definitely something you want to watch out for. And as always, the biggest thanks to my patrons at Patreon. I think I'm going to give away another mug here in the near future, especially for the Super Typhoons. Guys, giving $10 a month. You're my legends. And you know what? You make these graphics possible because, yeah, they're not cheap. People have asked me. This is Weatherscape from Metro Weather. You want to look into it? It's the same stuff that a lot of the TV stations across East Asia use. So I'm really fortunate to get my hands on this. And the guys at Patreon, you're really helping out a lot for making this possible. As always, stay safe out there. And yeah, thanks for watching.